Good morning, everybody. This is Lorraine Ball.
And Jennifer Denney.
And this morning we've got Matt Nettleton with us. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
Good morning.
For those of you that don't know, the only reason that I stayed in business all those years is because Matt taught me how to sell. And he continually hounded me about my pricing. So, Matt, ever grateful.
It was enjoyable.
Oh, sure. Yeah, me whining, you nagging. It was a great experience.
You know what? I got to nag a lot. It was fun.
Awesome. Well, today, though, we're going to have you here to talk about the Next Level Jobs program. Jen, have you heard anything? I'm asking you just as you grab a sip of coffee. Have you heard anything about Next Level Jobs?
Yeah, I've actually had Matt on Indiana Business Owners to talk about it. And I've actually been a part of the program myself, teaching Google Analytics classes. So, yeah, I know all about it.
All right. So I'm the only one that doesn't know. So let's start with Matt. Next Level Jobs. What is it? Why do I care?
So the state of Indiana is pretty pro-business. But one of the things that they did really for the first time, to my knowledge, during the pandemic was they rolled out an expanded version of Next Level Jobs. And what Next Level Jobs is it's training that is actually useful in the business world for in-demand occupations. So, Jennifer mentioned Google Analytics. There's a whole category of training available for IT and business services. And that includes a lot of the marketing and, measured marketing technology. It also, most importantly to me, includes sales. The one thing that makes every business in the world run is how do we generate revenue? How do we talk to strangers, sign contracts, and collect money? And so the Next Level Jobs program is a very simple grant program that supports training in a variety of in-demand occupations, and it pays 100% of the cost. Now, there are 4 specific criteria that you have to qualify.
Okay, let me ask a question really quick, though.
Yep.
The grant is for the business owner, the employee. Who gets the money?
So the way the grant works, the business owner can train employees, and they can get up to $5,000 per employee and $50,000 per business.
So I get free training from the government to train my people on sales. Well,
and it's not just sales, but in this case, sales. We do sales management, and client success as part of this program. The nice thing is, and I've had clients that have used some of it for sales and sales management training, and use some of it for, Google Analytics SEO training, and use some of it. So it's kind of been a nice, it's a tool where you can fill in some gaps with training that you would normally pay for. This is not some kind of dumbed down, stripped out, useless training. This is what we do with our normal clients, and you're just being part of it.
But it's more than that, too. You've been doing sales training for a long time, and you can always learn a new trick from someone new.
That's the thing. Our clients, and here's one of the beauties of our clients, typically are doing pretty well. When Lorraine became a client, she was running a profitable business. It is very rare for us to take somebody who's in terrible shape and somehow resurrect their business. What we're looking for is companies that are already operationally sound, selling a viable product, running a business that's actually profitable, but available to grow to the next level. If you're not already running a business, already have a viable product, if you don't have the fundamentals in place, we're not a fit, no matter what the cost.
Okay, so let's go back to this. So now I understand I'm a business owner. I can train my employees. I can spend up to $5,000. How you mentioned that there were 4 criteria. What are those 4 criteria?
So you have to be an Indianapolis or an Indiana-based business, right? So you have to have a federal tax ID number and a business address that's in Indiana. Mm-hmm. You have to have employees, either W-2 or 1099, that you pay for a 6-month period. So they've got to be with you for 6 months. So from the first day of training till 6 months, and then you qualify for the grant. The third thing is the training course that you sign up for has to be a minimum of 40 hours, and it has to result in an industry recognized certification.
Oh.
And so if you hit those 4 buttons, you're going to qualify.
So one of the things that you can't do is I can't, as a trainer, wake up tomorrow and go, you know what? I'm going to put on a class. It's going to be 3 hours and I'm going to just rake in the cash. State of Indiana is like, no, Lorraine, go play in traffic.
Right. Yeah. They have a little bit tighter process than that. So it is a little structured.
So other examples besides sales training, Google. So Jen, you did it for like Google AdWords certification.
It was Google Analytics certification, but the same thing. Yeah. And that's industry recognized. It could be Facebook ad certification. There's lots of social media certifications that are recognized. So not that somebody can't go learn that on their own because all the tools are out there, but a lot of times they have questions and they want to ask and there is nobody to ask. And so that's where the live training can come in.
So this is not an unlimited pot of money. It is not going to last forever. Is there a deadline right now?
So I know that a week ago today being the 16th of July, the application process opened. They suspected that they would have enough money to make it through October, based on what they were planning. I have heard that it's not going to be through October. So there's a pot of money. It's open now. When the pot of money is allocated, because they don't actually pay the money out for 6 months after you start training, but when that money's allocated, they'll turn off the applications.
Okay, so if you have employees and you are thinking this would be a great time to up their skills for free, you want to maybe hop over to the next level jobs.
What's the process, Matt? Like, do they go through you? Do they go through next
level
jobs?
So they can go directly to next level jobs to start the process. That's probably the least efficient way to get it done, because it is very much a standard process. Contacting the person that you want to get training through directly is the best first step. So if somebody were to say, hey, you know what, I've been thinking about growing revenue. I've been thinking about getting my salespeople trained. I really think that this is a step I could take. The simplest thing to do is to say, all right, I'm going to reach out to Matt Nettleton. And, I can call them 317-678-8800. And there we go. Now we're on the phone and I can say, okay, tell me about your business. Tell me about your people. I need their, first name, last name, email address. And then I'll give you essentially, here is the information that you need to fill out the application. Pre-formatted, you'll go through, these are the questions they'll ask. These are the answers you can give. And because we're doing, a certification that we do around the country, 100 times or 100,000 times a year, it's a very structured process.
So you kind of make it easy. So that in a perfect world, everybody who is teaching a course that wants to qualify for this should be on board to provide that level of service.
I would be stunned if they were not prepared. So
look at that. Somebody's calling.
Somebody's already calling.
They're calling right now. Did you miss anything or anything that maybe people need to know?
Well, hold on. Let's see if I can turn this off.
That's all right. Part of a live show. It happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, the big thing is, and this is something we could talk about in greater detail at some point, but the price of the training should not be the first step that gets you interested, right? You really should have a vision of what you're trying to accomplish. You should have some idea that, hey, we're doing okay, but we have an unaddressed market opportunity. We have an ability to expand and grow, and we've got the ability to deliver that if we could get people to buy it. If you have that, then the training probably makes sense. sales training is it's a commonly misunderstood thing. Most people think of sales training, they're getting excited, they're jumping on tables, they're walking across fire, they're singing songs or whatever. And that's not at all what we do. Our typical clients with us 4 to 6 years. I think, Lorraine, when we work together, we worked like 3 or 4 years together, and we still have conversations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I started that process because Jay Mattingly was still working for you. So it had to be 2009 or 2010.
Yeah.
And you know what? I still do a lot of the exercises every day, even after all of these years, because good training, and I think that's the key, is good training doesn't give you a fish. It teaches you a process for how you get up every morning and bait your hook. And whether that's Google AdWords training, whether that's any kind of digital marketing or SEO training or sales training, it's giving you the tools to build that habit.
Right. And it's a habit and it's a process. And from sales training, the way that I sell is built on the same principles as the way that you sell, but the day-to-day execution is going to sound different.
Mm-hmm.
And
right?
Constantly changing in today's environment. So if you don't like to learn, then you're probably going to get left behind.
Yes. Yes. And you have to have a structure.
Mm-hmm.
To learn in. Yes.
Yeah. No, some fields change. Others, it's just the reminders that, you probably were doing this and then you forgot. But I think the point you made about having a vision for your business and knowing why you're doing the training is really important.
Yeah.
That's the first step. That's the first step.
Awesome. Well, Matt, we're going to put links in the show notes to Next Level Jobs and to your website so people can get a hold of you. And
excellent.
Jennifer, any parting thoughts?
No, get trained. Take advantage.
Are you gonna offer any classes, Jen, that fall under this program?
It's making me want to with this again, but I don't know. I'm so busy. I love training, though. I love training and helping people kind of get to that next level. It's just time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't have a lot of time and you just want little bites of training, we've got that at the Digital Toolbox. And Jennifer's going to be back as a featured speaker again, talking Facebook ads. I think we talked about September.
Yeah. All kinds of stuff.
Awesome. Matt, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys.
All right.
See
bye.
you later. Bye.